Don't forget to check out the Bias Premier League show with myself, Robbie, and Ty, and
Peace.
Where's Yardy?
Oh, he's not a great loss, man. He's a waste of space.
Is that how you carrying on?
Oh, he can't see me. Yeah.
Well, Yardy will be here, so make sure you check it out, and I want you to tell him that to his face.
Tell him what? I didn't say no. Yardy's my best friend.
Hi everyone, and welcome to a delayed broadcast of Match of the Day. Not. Welcome to a live edition of FANZONE in conjunction with the Talk is Cheap show. I'm joined to my left by none other than my esteemed colleague, my good friend, my co-host, my show analyst, former professional footballer and icon, Mr. Curtis Shaw of Curtis Shaw TV in the house. What are you saying, bro?
What's happening, bro? We can show the full highlights on there, you know.
We got to talk about it.
You got to talk about it.
The whole world is talking about
Yeah.
it. Although we say that, but one of our technicians here, Joe, was asking us.
Didn't know nothing about it.
I said to you, you must be the only person
Yeah.
in Britain that's not been talking about it. So listen, everyone's talking about it. We've got to have our say. I'm going to put the ball in your court, man. Let's talk about it. Gary Lineker stood down and then subsequently reinstated by the BBC over some, by now, controversial comments he made. We're not going to go into the controversial comment per se, but the whole thing. What was your overall thoughts?
Yeah, it was drama for the weekend, wasn't it? You know, it brought something to talk about.
It certainly did.
Yeah, match of the day was shortest match of the day ever, I think, wasn't it? I didn't even see it. It was on that quick. But
you know what? I actually tuned in to watch it just out of curiosity, and
there was no commentary.
No commentary.
No pundits.
Just straight highlights, just a little caption.
Yeah.
And then the goals from the game and the
then
incidents.
locked
It was nothing like what we.
One thing I would say, and like you said, we're not going to get too political because we've got to be careful. But
we might find ourselves being stood down by Robbie.
But yeah. If we're not on next Monday, we've gone
if
too
we
far.
appear next week, that Robbie's
what's
taken
happened.
me and Curtis into a dark room and said, "Listen, you will apologise. Otherwise, no more talk is cheap."
Do you know what I would say? I think my perspective of it, just to go off topic, I think footballers in the game now who suffer abuse and, in particular like racial abuse, I think should look at the way those pundits and, the way they stepped away from the show. It kind of put that TV channel in a position where they had to kind of stand down. I really think that footballers need to take a bigger stand with some of the things that happens to them, because I think things like taking a knee and a little fine and things like it doesn't make any impact. So I think the thing to take out of it is if you all come together, it shows the power that you've actually got. And big up Wrighty and Shearer and all them, they believed he was in the right. And look, he's like you were saying off here, I bet Lineker's agent strolled in this morning and said, "Listen, we're gonna have to renegotiate. Yesterday's price is not today's price, bro." You know what I mean? So yeah, man. But
I was saying to you, I know that if you thought Gary Lineker was smug before now, you can just imagine what he's going to be like afterwards.
Yeah,
but I must say, listen, I like Gary Lineker.
Yeah,
I don't mind him at all. I think he's very good at his job. First and foremost, he was a brilliant player. That goes without saying. I think in his broadcasting role, he's very good as well. I do like his kind of laid-back style, self-deprecating humour, you know what I mean? And he's got the good little one-liners in it.
Yeah.
No, I like him. I think he's good. And I also don't have a problem with him being outspoken on certain subjects. I've got no problem with that at all. I don't go along with this, he's a sportsman, so he can't have a view on what's going on in the world. I don't always agree with everything he says. So, for example, some of the stuff he was talking about in relation to Qatar and the World Cup, I didn't agree with that, But, hey, that was his opinion. I've got my opinion. You've got yours. Everyone out there's got theirs.
Yeah.
You know what they say about opinions, what they're like.
Yeah.
I'm not going to repeat it on here.
Yeah.
So, and listen, he's a very intelligent, articulate guy, and I enjoy listening to him. So I had absolutely no problem with him speaking his mind. Now, the actual comment that he made, I'm not going to repeat it. Some people had a problem with it. Maybe the language can be termed by some as a little inflammatory, but hey, man, it is what it is.
Yeah. He'll be back on this week.
He'll be back. And as you alluded to, I thought it was nice to see, and this is my opinion, by the way, the likes of Wright and Shearer stand by him. I think that, to me, if I'd have been in their position, I would have done the same thing.
Yeah, man. Weekend off. Do you know what? It would have been interesting though if Lineker got sacked. Would all them lot have walked out of the job? Because having a weekend off and walking out of the contract, you know, that's a big bag of
I wonder
money.
if they got paid.
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably not. They probably don't really need it that much. But yeah, but that is a good point.
Yeah.
But to me, they were always going to reinstate.
Yeah, of
them,
course.
weren't they?
Yeah, of course.
Which I'm surprised the BBC took it to those lengths, because I could only ever see one resolution, and that was them having to
Bring him back.
Yeah. But hey, I'm kind of glad that everything's sorted out. Are you?
Yeah, I'm glad.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else you want to say?
No.
Anything political?
No, we'll stay away from that. We've got to protect the channel.
We've got to protect the integrity of the channel and the show, so we won't delve into any matters that can get us in trouble. Yeah, listen, man, I'm glad it's all resolved. It would appear that next week things will be back to normal. We'll have Football Focus, match of the day and final score back on our TV screens again. But yeah, interesting developments. Okay, right, so let's get down to it, man. Let's talk about what we're here to talk about, and that's matters closer to home with regards to football, and that's Arsenal. Now, Arsenal at the weekend, away to Fulham. Now, a lot of people, not necessarily myself or yourself, but I spoke to a few people over the weekend that were worried about this game. They considered it as a potential banana skin. I mean, going into this game, Fulham, who were the home side, 7th in the table, only one loss in their previous 8 games, although it was their previous game to Brentford. But they'd been on a very good run of form. A lot of people had spoken very highly of their manager, Marco Silva, and Fulham had been seen as overachievers. And some people have been saying, look, Marco Silva was probably one of the managers of the season so far, given what he'd done. Because I think before the start of the season, some people had looked at Fulham and said, hey, listen, man, they could be in a relegation battle. Or it's anything but. They're actually fighting for a place for Europe. So props to them for that. So yeah, a lot of people coming into this game. There's a little bit of trepidation with some fans. Not me, not you, but I've spoken to a few. Some of them at AFTV as well, a little bit worried. Because Fulham, let's face it, they have been a good team, 7th in the table, like I said. However, any pre-match nerves were soon laid to rest once the game started. An utterly dominant first half, I think it's fair to say. 3 goals, Gabriel on 20 minutes, Martinelli 26 minutes, Odegaard in added time at the end of the first half. 3 assists by Leandro Trossard, who we're going to talk about later. He was outstanding throughout. Fulham never really in it, man. Arsenal totally dominant and restoring their 5-point lead at the top of the table there. And Arsenal now the first Premier League side to win 5 successive away London derbies while keeping clean sheets. So very impressive. All in all, a great day. Curtis, over to you, my man. What was your thoughts?
I mean, you were saying there, I got to be honest, even before the game, I was a little bit apprehensive about the game.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, a little bit. Just because, you know, we were hearing that Trossard might be out, Eddie was out. Obviously, Jesus being on the bench was a massive surprise to me. I didn't think he would be on the bench. And if he was, I thought he's just there for vibes. He ain't coming off. You know what I mean? But I have to admit, that first 45 minutes for me is probably one of the best halves of football since Arteta's been in charge. I thought it was unbelievably good. I thought they missed Paulinho massively in midfield. Their midfield just got torn apart. And do you know what? I actually was happy that Willian wasn't playing because well, he's changed since obviously leaving Arsenal. He's been in good form for them, to be honest. So when I saw...
I nearly prefaced this by calling it the Willian derby. I guess I should have called it the Leno derby.
Yeah.
It wasn't a very good day for him. But,
Cedric obviously couldn't play because he was cup tied. But Leno did what he needed to do, you know, once
a picked the ball out the back of the net.
But no, the first 45 was unbelievable. In fact, do you know what? I was sitting there at half time thinking, should be 5-0. I was actually thinking, you know, we should be, and even towards the end of the game, I was thinking we should have really battered them in this game. But I think sometimes once you've done the job in the first half, you take your foot off the gas a little bit. But I thought there were so many good performances individually, and obviously, as you mentioned, Trossard, we're going to talk about him. Seeing Jesus come off the bench, for me was one of the highlights of the game. He's been
he came on in the, I think it was the 77th minute or so.
And he looked sharp. I was really surprised by how sharp he was. The little touches, the way he kept the ball, could have scored as well. And
that little flick he did.
Around the car.
That was typical. You know he's back when he does stuff like that.
Yeah.
That was superb.
So you just look at him and think he could be a game changer for us. Obviously Smith Rowe as well, hasn't really played this season. So all in all, listen, I think we did the job in the first half. Second half, we kind of managed the game. I would have liked a couple more goals, but to keep a clean sheet, beat them 3-0. I just thought the football in the first half was Wenger-esque. It was like prime Wenger days. That one that Xhaka, where he touched it back to Leno. I was thinking, if he scores this is goal of the season. He might have thought Leno still played for us because he passed the ball back to him, but it couldn't have gone much better.
Then you saw what sorry, his name is. How can his name escape my attention? Saliba.
Oh, Saliba.
That run and shot, man.
Yeah, it's Saliba dropping shoulders on, man. Yeah. Dan James tried to knock it past Saliba, and Saliba just like.
I've got to ask you about that central pairing partnership as well, man. That's looking phenomenal right now. But before I do that, I've got some receipts I wanted to read out with regards to the game. But before I even do that, I've got to take care of some other matters. Midnight football. So let me just tell our people out there watching what Midnight Football is about. So we've teamed up with Midnight Football to bring you the chance to win a brand new PS5, and it's so easy to enter. All you have to do is check the pinned post on AFTV's Instagram. The link is in the description. Then like the post, leave a comment and follow Midnight Football. One comment that gets 0 likes will be the lucky winner of a PS5. But entries close on Wednesday, so I hope you've all got that. I'm not going to go through that again, but Midnight Football. Check the link in the description, and it's all there for you.
PS5, man, inflation. You got to try and win them things.
Listen, man, I'm not even into all that, but I'll take a PS5 all day. You know what I mean? So if you can get it, go for it. Yeah, you know what I mean? Right. So receipts on that game: shots on goal, Fulham 12, Arsenal 15. Shots on target, Fulham 2, Arsenal 7. Possession, Fulham 44%. Arsenal 56. That's very impressive considering you're away from home. Completed passes, Fulham 433, Arsenal 539. Pass accuracy, again, Arsenal in the ascendancy. Fulham 82%, Arsenal 86%. So by those receipts, by those stats, it's not hard to work out that Arsenal were the better team. And you are right, Fulham did do a little bit better in the second half. I know Mitrovic hit the post with it, or
I hit the ball with it.
But overall, a very complete performance by Arsenal. And I've got to ask you, Curtis, do you think that Arsenal currently are playing the best football in the Premier League? I think they are.
Yeah, I mean, I did the watch along for the Man City game on Saturday. Obviously, very biased Arsenal-based watch along.
A little bit.
I was fuming with Palace, man. They were shocking, and then Elise gives away that stupid penalty. But
if you're Patrick Vieira and you see that, I mean, you're a touching distance with you getting a creditable and deserving point up until then. Yeah. And then one of your better players as well. I mean, okay, he's not the most experienced, but he knows better than that, man.
It was shambolic. There was
no need for it to
I was absolutely fuming.
I felt so sorry for Vieira, especially as his job is on the line. I mean, ironically,
we play them
next week.
So play like that, please, next Sunday.
And he's probably one bad result away from losing his job. And wouldn't it be ironic if we slap them and then he loses his job on a Monday?
But having watched that game, City, I mean, listen, City are still brilliant at what they do. They keep the ball probably better than anyone, but I just don't think they have that speed in attack that we've got. I think City a few years ago, when they had Leroy Sané and Sterling and Aguero, they were devastating on the break as well. I think you look at them now, they're a lot slower. They pass the ball a lot side to side. I think you look at us now, you look at that Fulham game especially, how quick we were hitting them on the break. Martinelli, Trossard, Saka. I think we're playing the best football in the league, the most exciting, probably the most enjoyable. I know it may sound biased as an Arsenal fan, but even a lot of pundits are saying now the football that we're playing is the best. But obviously it's about getting over that finish line, innit? But definitely the football's brilliant to watch. Yeah,
it is. I've got to say that. Very impressive and utterly dominant on Sunday. And one of the players who contributed to that so much is a certain Leandro Trossard, who we acquired in the January transfer window. Now, some people, not you, I might add, and not myself.
Thanks for that.
No, but there were one or two people that were expressing, misgivings and reservations primarily because we missed out on Mudryk and we ended up with Trossard. So I wouldn't say it was a plan A, it was more of a plan B.
Yeah.
But at the time, I was happy with Trossard because obviously we'd seen what he'd done at Brighton, Belgian international, quality player, scores goals. To me, it was a no-brainer as a plan B because he's battle-tested and ready, built for the Premier League. Why not?
Yeah.
So he's come in, and I have to say, man, he's been very impressive. Let me look at his stats.
Yeah,
So since he signed for Arsenal, I think he's had 9 matches, 1 goal and 5 assists. I mean, 3 of those assists were in one game. But I mean, every time he's played, he's sort of raised your eyebrows, isn't it? And I would go as far as to say, Curtis, I don't know what you think. I'm sure you're going to let me know in a minute. But I would say he's probably the best acquisition in the January transfer window. The latest one. What do you reckon?
Yeah. No, I think so. You look at the window, I mean...
Certainly been better than
Chelsea
Mudryk.
bought everyone, didn't they? But do you know what it is? For me, with that signing, like you said, it was the plan B signing. There's no doubt Mudryk was number one, but it's probably turned out a better signing right now. I still think Mudryk can become a very good player.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt he's talented. But clearly he's adjusting to the league and he's in a team that's a little bit disjointed, where Trossard has just come in, he knows the league. He looks like he's played for Arsenal for years.
Yes.
He doesn't look like he only joined 6 weeks ago. Reminds me a little bit, a little bit Haleb and a little bit Arshavin on that left-hand side, maybe a little mixture.
Yeah, I've heard you say that before. I think that is a very interesting comparison.
And do you know what? I'll be honest with you. I knew he was a good player, but I think he's actually even better than I thought. Sometimes a player, you go up a level when you go to a better team, and his game, I think, because he's playing around better players, it's making him look even better. Because to be honest, I thought we were bringing him in to be a squad player. Like, you're going to be a backup, you'll come on, you'll make an impact off the bench. You're looking at it now, you're going, well, when Jesus is fully fit, if he gets back through the middle, Martinelli's got a real battle on his hands there with Trossard on that left hand side, which is a good thing. That's what we want. So
it was interesting when he came in.
It's good. Really
everyone was eyeing up that position on the left there, Martinelli, and thinking, it's a straight shootout between him and Martinelli.
Yeah,
and he did come in for Martinelli a couple of times, and then lo and behold, Eddie's form dipped a little bit, and then he was coming through the middle.
Yeah.
And now, they've got that option there, haven't they? They have to go down the left or through the middle. They're
the kind of problems you want as a manager, though, isn't it? Strength in depth. Now you don't have to rush Jesus back.
There you go. And it was interesting, I saw some comments attributed to Martin Odegaard, the captain of Arsenal, this weekend, where he was waxing lyrical about Trossard and saying what a pleasure he is to play with, and he's a great guy. And the vibes are good right now.
I think you can see with Trossard, he's got a very high footballing IQ. He reads the game well, he keeps the ball well, can play in tight spaces. Odegaard is a similar player, and I think when you get players that are on similar wavelength, you just connect automatically. He obviously knew Ben White from Brighton. He knew Earpod Albert from his club in Belgium, so there was already a little bit of a connection there. We actually nearly signed him when Wenger was manager. Apparently we nearly signed him. His agent said at the time.
We nearly signed everyone.
Well, we nearly signed
Zlatan,
Messi, all of them. But finally we got him. But no, Trossard, I think, as you said, and obviously with the title, I think looking at the window, he's probably the best January signing. And this is something that we were complaining about last January, was kind of like, when we didn't get Vlahovic, where was the plan B? There wasn't, and in the end that probably cost us. So I have to give credit to them that, listen, Mudryk got taken away from us, they reacted quickly and they brought a quality player in, and that's what we needed to do.
Sometimes the plan B's turn out better than the plan A.
It's true.
And you're right, what you said earlier, we're not dissing Mudryk. You can see there he's a quality player, but it's just going to take him time to adjust to the Premier League, and we have to take into consideration that he's coming into a slightly disjointed Chelsea side. I know they've had a couple of results in recent games, but when he got there was a little bit all over the place and not playing that well. So to bring a player, bring him into a brand new environment in those sorts of conditions is not easy. But from what I've seen of Mudryk, he does look a quality player. So I'm not, dismissing him. I'm just saying that at the moment, from what I can see, all the January signings, to me, Trossard looks the standout. Now, people out there, you've seen the title, you've heard what me and Curtis have had to say. Do you agree? We're saying that Leandro Trossard so far is the standout signing of the January transfer window. Please let us know. Put it in the comments. Even better, give us a call through the FANZONE. Download the app. You can call us. Let us know what you think. But yeah, man, it's looking good right now.
No,
for us,
it is.
yeah?
It is. It's a bit of a shame the international breaks around the corner. You know, even though we've got to take the positives out of it, it gives Jesus another 2 weeks, Smith Rowe another 2 weeks to get fit. I saw that none of our Brazilian players have been picked for Brazil, which I actually think is good news for us.
Yeah,
because you don't
know
really
what happened
want
to Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. Edu must have pulled some strings finally and said, "Listen, man, do us a favour. Allow it, man. Not this time. Take Fred and them lot from United." You know,
take Fred and Richarlison.
Take Fred and Richarlison hates it at the moment. You know, take them, man. So it's a good chance for them to rest. And obviously, we know that, you know, April, we've all seen the fixture list. That's where it's really going to be crunch time, I think, with this title race. So.
But at the moment, though, you got to be thinking it's looking good, right?
We're all dreaming at the moment, of course. Man City playing the FA Cup this week, which means if we beat Palace on Sunday, we're 8 points clear. I know they'll have a game in hand, but I'd rather have the points.
Yeah,
so
and we're going to talk about that game before we end the show. But I would imagine that is a game that, let's face it, if we don't win it, we'll be disappointed.
Yeah, we've got
to be strong favourites.
We've got to beat Palace. I think we will.
If we do go on and win it, I saw a quote attributed to Jamie Redknapp, which caught my interest this weekend, and he's saying that if Arsenal do go on and win it, it will go down as one of the greatest Premier League achievements, and I absolutely do agree with that.
Yeah, no, but I think everyone would say Leicester's the most remarkable. That's back a little bit further, the Blackburn one. They spent big money at the time, Shearer and that, but I think from where we've come from over the last 2 years, you know, 8th and then 5th, I don't think anybody would have said, really, I think they're going to win the title this season. No. I would have been happy with top 4 if you'd have given me that at the start of the season. Now I'm like, listen, if we don't win the league, I'm disappointed. You know what I mean? So,
well, I've been coining the phrase "it's ours to lose." Actually, it's not my phrase to coin, but you know, so I've been using that phrase.
Yeah.
Some people have said I've been a bit presumptuous, and you know what I mean, I'm being a bit complacent or whatever, but I'm just looking at the games. I'm looking at this team, the way they're playing, the vibe, the energy. Couple of times they've been under the cosh, they've come back and pulled wins out, when in previous years they definitely would have won those games. Yeah, and it's got the kind of look of destiny to it.
You said last week, didn't you?
I did.
You think it's in the bag?
Well,
not quite. Not quite in the bag.
I didn't say that. So don't.
I won't quote you on that.
I see what you're trying to do.
All right, you were saying with chess though.
I was saying with chess, 100%, and I still am.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I've watched football so much over the years, and other sports as well, and sometimes you can see certain things that make you believe. And yeah, man, after you watch those games against Villa and the one against Bournemouth, it's impossible for me not to be excited.
No, yeah, definitely excited.
And I just think that there's the momentum there, not just the momentum in terms of the games. You look at the team, the way they're playing and the togetherness of the side, the way certain partnerships are developing. I mean, I spoke earlier, look at the partnership we've got at the back now with Gabriel and Saliba. Yeah. To me, I was saying to James today in the office there that kind of puts me in the same kind of frame of mind as Vidic and Ferdinand.
Oh, wow.
And no, see, I'll tell you why, because you got Saliba and listen, maybe they're not as good as
I know what
guys
you yeah, I know.
But I'm talking about the symbiotic relationship with the two, the dynamic. So with Saliba, he looks more like the classic footballer.
The way Ferdinand.
Exactly. His skills on the ball, the way he can bring the ball out of defence. You saw yesterday, he bring the ball out, go past a couple of players and have a shot that nearly goes in. You know what I mean? Most defenders wouldn't even think of trying that. You know what I mean? And then you've got Gabriel, is your old school, grizzled defender. Big, strong, loves a challenge, you know what I mean? Not afraid to leave one on you. Yeah. When it kicks off, he's the first one in there. You know what I mean? That type of thing. Those partnerships, we spoke about Trossard, the way he's come in and just gelled, he's fit straight in, you know what I mean? And
Do you know what I was saying earlier on my stream, that I think Gabriel and Saliba's the best centre-back pairing we've had since Toure and Campbell.
Oh, yeah.
The one that I thought was going to become a good partnership was Koscielny and Vermaelen, but Vermaelen was quite injury-prone. That one never developed. We've had a few others that have been okay, but I've never felt fully confident in both of them. These two, like you said, because of that blend, I mean, I don't know if you saw yesterday where Gabriel just kicked Mitrovic off the ball and he got away with it, and I was thinking, you know what, I love that,
Yeah,
because
you do.
we've heard over the years Evra and Arsenal are soft, and I'm thinking, you know what, that little soft element's gone now. You can't bully this Arsenal team, you know. Partey and Xhaka.
Mind you, Evra wasn't that hard when he come up against what's the guy's name from Uruguay?
Suarez.
Suarez.
Oh yeah,
he
well,
wasn't
we won't
that
delve
hard,
into
but we
that
won't delve
one.
into that.
Yeah, but he's on antics all the time, isn't he, Evra, on social media? No, I think that kind of soft underbelly's gone now. I think Gabriel and Saliba are solid. Xhaka and Partey, we're a much more physical side now, which I think makes a big difference. So you're right, them partnerships with me, I think it's kind of, I always refer to it as like the PTSD as an Arsenal fan. People always go, oh, you're going to win the league. I'm like, I hope we do, but I'm not committing to it yet. Listen, we're all dreaming, we're all excited about what's going off. It's just, you've got to get through that April, you know, Man City, Liverpool, Newcastle away, Chelsea at home. So there's still some big games we've got to manage. But definitely, I'd rather be in our position than City.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, listen, City, I've said it many times, formidable team, some great players, great manager. But I just think that this year is going to be ours, man. And I'm saying that because at the moment we are the best team. The league doesn't lie. Yeah. We're also playing the best football. And show me a team as well where they can match Arsenal for vibes and spirit. You look at Arsenal, especially when they're at home. You know what I mean? It's they're very, very difficult to beat at home, man. You know what I mean? Very difficult. And away as well, as we've seen at the weekend. Yeah. It's interesting. I'm looking at the comments, man. Some people are digging you out here, man. They're saying that you didn't want Trossard.
There's
a few people there.
Okay, let me
maybe I'm going to give you the right to reply, but there's a few people there, man.
No, but
not too happy with you, mate. Said, you didn't want Jorginho or Trossard.
No, Jorginho.
You were saying Arteta. Basically, you're saying that you were dissing Edo and Arteta for bringing in Jorginho.
Well, that's a different player, isn't it? With Trossard, I think ultimately everybody wanted us to get Mudryk at the time. There was an element of disappointment when we didn't get him, but they responded by getting Trossard. I actually had no problem with Trossard. Jorginho, I mean, listen, I said what I said. I stand behind it. I think he's definitely done better than I expected him to do. But if you'd have given me Caicedo or Jorginho, I still say I would have wanted.
Come on, most people.
I know, obviously, it was a huge amount of money, and we understand why maybe the deal didn't happen. But Jorginho, he's come in. He's been a decent squad player.
There's a comment here. Curtis did want Trossard, but he did compare him to a pair of socks. Maybe you need to elaborate.
Oh yeah, do you know what they got? Do you know what I said? I said, at Christmas.
Oh, actually, I remember you said, it was on this show, wasn't it?
At Christmas, you get your present, you open it, you go, I got 5 pairs of socks, you're not overly excited, but eventually them socks are going to be useful.
Get worn,
Well, Trossard, that was the socks on Sunday. Maybe it's a bit more glamorous than that. Maybe it's like, maybe a Lynx Africa set, Maybe
a PS4, not PS5. I don't know.
So it's the
I don't know too much about these things, man, because I'm not really a PS3, 4, 5 man.
A PS5.
Well, I don't know. Are you saying
not.
that? Is that what you
might be? It might be an old school Super Nintendo or something. I don't know, but big up the comments anyway. They're not easy on me, but Jorginho, listen,
the comments, man. They're like Gary Lineker. They're not afraid to voice.
We might have to turn the comments off.
We've got a lot of Gary Linekers in the comments. They're not afraid to voice their opinions.
Voice their opinions.
We've got a super chat here from Dave Jordan. He says, big up AFTV, bringing rival fans like Curtis on.
Hey, Dave. No, big up. Dave, thank you for your super chat. We won't say too much. No, big up Dave, man. Yeah.
Mind you, you got a few supporters in there. So some man is saying, no, he didn't say that. And I don't think you didn't diss him.
No, not Trossard. Definitely,
you definitely didn't diss
him.
him.
But Jorginho, yeah, I was a little hot.
Yeah, you was, shall we say, less.
I was
impressed.
less enthused about that side.
Yeah.
I think I called him a kangaroo jumping penalty taking merchant or something. But
hey, listen, the man's got 94% success rate using that technique.
how's it? Yeah, fair enough.
Not as successful as Ivan Toney's though.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Ivan Toney.
Put a bet on that one.
It was just too easy, wasn't it? It was too easy.
I'll tell you what, man. Ivan Toney, I've got to say, his interviews.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what's better, watching him play or watching him. He's a real maverick. That
He
guy.
is a character.
He does. I saw him being interviewed the other day. I know I'm digressing slightly.
Yeah.
They were talking about his penalty technique, and the man was just like.
He really says it as it is, Tony, which you don't get that often in interviews now.
They said to him, "When did you think about changing your technique?" He goes, "When I missed."
Yeah, I know. He scored like 22 in a row.
Yeah. It's amazing technique.
Do you know what? I'd take him at Arsenal.
I was going to say,
if he's not banned. That's the only thing.
Yeah, if he ever plays again.
If he ever plays again. Yeah.
I mean. Listen, I feel a little bit sorry for him, man, because I think he's looking at some steady ban.
Long ban, yeah.
And it should be a shame. And yes, definitely, if he's available in the summer, and also looking for a striker, I think they would not. They could do worse than look down.
No, he's a good player
over there. So, right, okay. So I'm being told by our technical team that they've got some callers ready. So yeah, I look forward to hearing what they got to say.
We have Elijah first.
Elijah. Yes, bro.
Yo.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear me, guys?
Yep. I think we're a bit low. I'm going to try and...
Yeah, I can hear you all right.
Right, okay.
Perfect. So, first of all, the internet, the comments are undefeated. And to that note, I always watch... After games, I watch as much content as is available once we're winning, obviously.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to pick, I had a bone to pick with you guys, and I don't think it's yourself, Curtis, or you, Laurie, but there was chat at one point about Arteta overcoaching.
Okay. You know what? I think I have. I'm not so. Yeah, I'll tell you what, I have said, I'm going to be honest, I have said on occasions that I think sometimes Mikel Arteta, certainly earlier in the season, was in my view guilty of kind of overcoaching from the touchline. He was a bit, micromanaging is the word I used, and I felt it was a little excessive at times. So if that's what you're referring to, then I hold my hands up. Yeah, but go ahead.
And I'm not trying to dig anybody out about it. As a matter of fact, I'm glad that people made those comments, because I was one of those people, and I don't know if you recall last week when I called in, I said I wasn't enthused with Arteta, but after the FA Cup win and I saw his technical nous, I was like, this is our man.
Yeah.
And I feel that all that overcoaching is why we have Ace of Spades football right now. The telepathy that this team plays with, the connections, like I mean, literally, it was that Granit Xhaka chance. I don't know if you recall, but it was like basically Barcelona slow, then quick, and we were in on goal.
Yeah, and
that doesn't just happen by bringing in a manager and him to go out there and express yourself. It's by coaching that into these guys, and that's why now it's basically, as I said last week, that the project has gone bang.
Yeah.
Trossard fitted in perfectly, because that's who Mikel wanted. That's the player type that he wanted. I don't know. That makes sense.
No, that does make sense. Yeah.
No, and listen, I think what you're saying is true there. I think because it's similar to Pep. When you watch the documentaries, he really hammers home the style, and I think Arteta was probably micromanaging, because he was like, listen, you lot need to play this philosophy, and obviously it's probably why we've suffered a little bit in previous years, because we're adjusting to it. Now it has clicked, and as you said, it's gone bang or whatever. I think that's why we're seeing such good football now, and that's Xhaka chance. It was like a goal, I don't know if you remember a few years ago, Aubameyang, when Ozil and he dummied it and Lacazette played it back. It was the same sort of thing. Xhaka dummied it, he laid it off. I just wish he'd have scored it. But yeah, I think you're right. The football, it's like, all that management and coaching, and now they're just doing it without even thinking about it now.
I saw a stat last week. Sorry to interrupt. I saw a stat last week, and it was referring to Arsenal players like Saka and Martinelli, the amount of times they've been able to isolate defenders and then go past them, and they were putting that down to Arteta's coaching and some of the work he's done behind the scenes. So yeah, you are right, man. They're reaping the benefits of that.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, I don't know if you recall, there was a time where it was like playing out from the back, and we needed a keeper that can play out from the back, and there was some dodgy moments. It was like, why not just kick it long?
Yeah.
Now these guys are identifying when to go long, when to play out from the back. We actually go on a tree at the back, and Zinchenko becomes another Odegaard on the left hand side. And it's beautiful to see our press. Literally the ability to identify when to press, and if you take note of it, every time we actually press, and we're not pressing the entire game, whoever calls it, we always get a turnover. We always get somebody kicking the ball. It's lovely.
No, it's very impressive right now, I've got to say. And listen, I'm going to, put my cards on the table, put my hands up in the air. I did have my reservations about this manager at the start of the season, as I'm sure
Same as me.
A few people did. Because let's face it, I mean, we, coming off the back of the 2 8th place finishes, and then last season the way we imploded at the end, I think it was only right and fair and proper that we, had some questions to ask. But I have to say, he's answered them unequivocally, and yeah, man, at the moment it's all good. Can't argue with that at all.
Yeah.
Good work, guys.
But listen, man, thanks for the call. Real pleasure to have you on again, and don't be too long before you call back, bro. Respect.
Later on.
Nice one. Jay. Is Jay in the house? Jay.
Yeah.
Got a little bit of background noise there. All right, you got your fan on in the back. Do you mind just switching your fan off at the back there?
I'm sorry.
Yes, Jay. What's happening anyway?
Okay, is it okay now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah. What's happening, bro?
The guy from Sierra Leone.
Yeah. So, what did you think of the question we put there about Trossard being the signing of the January window so far? What do you think?
He's been great, but I think it's too early to give him that, considering the amount of quality we brought in during the past January windows.
Yeah.
But if we go on and win the league, and he continues to put up this kind of performance in the remaining games, that you can put him up there. I might not give it to him outright, but he can be up there with the top 3. Thinking about Reyes, may so rest in peace, and Aubameyang, though I don't like him anymore, but you can talk about what he did at Arsenal. So for me, it's too early to give him that.
So what did you think of the game on Saturday? Were you very encouraged as we are? Do you think that
this was one of the games that I felt proud of my team, not because of the performance only, but looking at the bench. There's been so many games I'm like, if this 11 don't win the game, then that's it. But watching the game this weekend, I'm like talking about the players on the bench and all of that. I'm like, okay, if this one is not doing it right, then I can bring this one. This one is not doing it right, I can bring this one. And I guess credit has to go to Arteta for that, because earlier in the mid-season, there was a time where you look at, we only depend on Saka and Martinelli bringing us chances to the game. But now we have fluidity, and I'm never talking about that with James. Trossard has helped the team so much that he's brought so much fluidity when he's in the team. His transition coming from the wings coming to the number 9 position is great for us. and that's creating so many chances for so many players in the team. Because you never know who's gonna score for Arsenal right now. You never know who you're gonna match. You will never match an Arsenal player. You understand? Because it's very difficult who to match. Everyone is bumping forward, everyone is creating chances, everyone is scoring. That's why the distribution of goals is great at Arsenal right now.
Jay, when Gabriel Jesus got injured, I think Arsenal fans, most of us were thinking, like, we're in trouble here. Are you surprised by how well we've coped without him? Because, you know, he's been out. He hasn't played for Arsenal since November. Just come back in March. Has it pleased you with the way we've coped, and are you surprised with it as well?
Definitely, it pleases me, and I'm happy the way we coped with it. But I never imagined that we'll be at 5 points like this without our star player. His influence on the team was so great, and so his injury at that time was like we thought it was gonna be a setback for the team. But the team managed to pull through, and now he's back, and you can see we don't really need him to go straight to the team.
Yeah.
Right now, we can gradually integrate him to the team and all of that. And for me, I'll probably start him for the Europa game, but the weekend Premier League game, I'll still put him on the bench if I'll be making that decision, because I don't want to rush him too early, especially when the team is doing so well with the players that are playing. But honestly, I'll tell you that I was a bit worried when he was, especially the length of his injury.
Yeah. Yeah, man. No.
Okay, gonna have to cut this call a bit short because we've got the technical issue we're trying to sort out. But thanks, bro. It's not your
Big
fault.
up for the call, man.
Big up for the call, and
No
please call
problem.
back
Thank
in
you
future
guys for your
weeks.
good work. All right,
Yeah,
man.
thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you. All right.
Yeah, we appear to be getting some echo from wherever. Is it sorted now? I could still figure it out. Okay, all right. We've got another caller on the line. While we're waiting for another caller, let's focus on our ops of the week.
Yeah.
It's another big week coming up. 2 big games. The first of which is the second leg of the Europa League. Oh, we got a new call. Okay, Daniel.
Yes, Daniel.
Good evening, Curtis. Good evening, Larry.
Hey,
How
what's
you doing,
going on?
bro? That's turned up in the bright shirt, man. You're loving life right now.
Does that reflect your mood? Does it? The shirt.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So, what do you want to say, bro? Do you want to just before we Trossard? Do you agree with me and Curtis that he's been the standout January transfer window signing so far?
For this season,
So far, yeah,
yeah,
January.
yeah.
January.
for me, it's a straightforward yes because of the impact he has made since being signed for us. The 5 assists and a goal. So definitely you can't beat that. The only person you can think about is Cody Gakpo of Liverpool, who has scored 4 goals in 9 appearances. So probably you can say Cody Gakpo is still one of the signing of the January transfer. But comparing what Arsenal are going for this season and how impactful Trossard has been for the team, is a straightforward yes for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad you agree.
He's definitely been better than Weghorst anyway. So I think sorry, Man United fans. Go on.
But one person I'm going to put up as one of the signing of the season is Chris Wood for Nottingham Forest. Remember that goal he scored against Manchester City?
Oh yeah,
It's a big goal for me, so I'm putting him up as one.
Oh yeah. Chris Wood, the tapping from about 3 yards against Man City. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was an important goal, man. What did you make of the game at the weekend, man? I mean, I said for me that first half is one of the best halves I've seen since Arteta's been in charge. What was your thoughts on it?
Before the game, in my short video I made on my YouTube channel, I predicted Arsenal were going to win by 2-0. I said I needed a stress-free victory, and the match panned out exactly the way I expected it. The only negative is that Saka didn't score because I was expecting it was going to be among the scorer. But the game, we just showed Manchester City what it takes to be a champion. We are going for the title. As Laurie said in the last video, it's our title to lose, and I'm beginning to believe him.
That's great. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Where did you come? Where did the confidence come from then? Because like, obviously, I think we only beat them 2-1 in the home game, and a lot of people were thinking, this is going to be a tough game at their place. What made you so confident that we were just going to win, like you predicted, 2-0?
Yeah, immediately I saw the lineup.
Yeah.
That Trossard was starting, and also Gabriel Jesus on the bench. It filled me with so much confidence, and I felt like Arteta played a very deceptive game with us press conference by telling us we're not going to have Jesus, Trossard, and Nketiah, only for Trossard to start in that game. So
I think he learned that from Pep.
Yeah, exactly. So when I saw the lineup, I said, yes, this guy is really learning from his master or from the teacher, and that gave me confidence that we're going to win by 2-0. I needed a stress-free victory, and the match went exactly as I predicted it was going to go.
Yeah, I mean, that first half, we pretty much blew Fulham away. And to go there and do that is highly impressive because, as I was saying previously, Fulham, so far, they've been playing very well at home this season. And there's a few people I spoke to before that game on Saturday that was saying, listen, man, don't be surprised if Fulham take points off you. So for Arsenal to go there and do that, that was, like I said, highly impressive. So presumably, you think that this week will be a similar good week for Arsenal?
Let's take a game at a time. Our focus now is Sporting Lisbon. So after Sporting Lisbon, we'll think of Crystal Palace. But I wanted to know, do you guys think William ducked this match to please the Arsenal fans for his poor performance in the Arsenal shirt?
I have to admit, when I saw his name not there, I thought, Willian, he owes us one for that nightmare 12 months.
I'll tell you what, it was a plus because he's been playing very well this season.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, the fact that he wasn't playing, I'm pretty sure Arteta and some of the other guys probably thought, we'll take that.
Maybe he was in his restaurant.
Yeah. Well, listen, bro, we've got a few callers waiting, so we've got to move along. But thank you very much for your call, and you must call back soon.
We'll never forget the elephant is on top of the tree.
That's a good way to leave it. Yeah, thank you very much, bro. Nice one. We got Elliot on the line.
Oh, here he is. What merch has he got on this week?
I know,
Gentlemen.
I know. Before you start, I know, Elliot, you and Curtis have got this very symbiotic relationship, so I'm going to let you two.
I knew he'd be wearing some new merch anyway. But go on, do your intro.
Sister C unit in the building, and again, I'm just coming back here, Canada tie, back in the building. You know what I'm saying? So again, we're just doing that thing. We're just doing our thing, but I don't get all the so let me just shut that off for a second. There we go. I just not understanding what is going on with a lot of this fan base and the lack of confidence. People, we're 5 points ahead, and going into a round of games that that we should be winning, guys. Guys, if you're not on the train already, and I know, Curtis, I've checked your ticket. So again, because Curtis was a latecomer, and he tried to jump on the train. I know he jumped on the roof, and he was in the back carriages, just hiding himself away in the back steerage. But
whereas I'm first class on that train.
Oh well, I told him to come up. Come up to the
get an upgrade. Get an upgrade.
Come get an upgrade. Come get an upgrade. Come see the dancing girls. Come see the Champions League lights shining bright and the music playing in the background. I said, come on up. But he was very fearful of the fact that he couldn't afford a ticket. But I told him, hey, listen, we'll give you the upgrade, pal. Because it's you, Curtis. We'll give you the upgrade.
So you're fully confident now, Elliot, yeah? Don't you think it's just that kind of, like you said before, we're a bit like afraid to commit so far because people, well, with me, I'll speak for myself. Like, I do believe we're favourites to win it, and it is in our hands, of course, but we've still obviously got Liverpool and City, which are two away grounds that we've had a very bad record at in previous years. And so it's just that, it's that April for me. It's like if we manage that April, I'll be like, listen, I think we've got it. But that April still keeps me a little bit reserved with the whole thing.
You know what? Actually excites me is the fact that we brought back Jesus and Trossard. Those two additions are so key to our title hopes going forward into April. To keep those guys healthy and keep those guys playing a good run of games before the big ones against Liverpool, before we get the big ones against Chelsea and Man City. Those bode well for us. And the fact that not only that, but we have the Ginau in the middle, that is Thomas Partey, running things literally. I mean, he was just mesmeric in his mastery of that midfield, and everybody's talking about Casemiro and all these other guys, and I'm thinking to myself, what are you talking about? We've got the class midfielder in the Premier League right now, and nobody's speaking of it. But it's okay. That's fine. That's totally fine. Let them all write us off. Let them all talk about these other players, and we're just going to keep doing our thing. We're just going to keep rolling. That's what we do. We roll.
Yeah, I agree. And listen, Curtis makes mention of the dreaded April. I've just checked. There's 6 games in April, 6 Premier League games anyway, not counting Europa League.
Yeah.
Saturday the 1st, we're at home to Leeds. The following week, we're away to Liverpool. The following week, we're away to West Ham. On Friday the 21st of April, we're at home to Southampton. And then there's the Man City game, that's a Wednesday. And then on the 29th of April, Saturday, we're at home to Chelsea. So, yeah, there are some very difficult games. It's quite a congested month as well. There's 6 Premier League games alone.
If we beat Lisbon, we'll obviously have another 2.
Yeah,
I mean, do you know what? I think the thing what's a bit more exciting about it, I wouldn't call it a dreaded month, obviously difficult, is at least the games are quite spread out. Like, there's a couple winner, and then you've got Liverpool. And obviously Liverpool play Man City first game after the international break. If we beat Palace, we're 8 points clear. They've got a game in hand. If Liverpool could get something off Man City, you could be looking 10, 11 points ahead. And that's when I'll probably feel a little bit different. So a lot can change before we even play a lot of those games, really.
Of those 6, I think the ones that you would look at and think that there could be problems there would be the Liverpool, the Man City and the Chelsea games. But I would say, listen, man, they're all games, including the City games, that we are capable of getting points from, if not winning. So I remain confident. I'm with Ellis on this one, bro. So
let's, if we can get Partey and Jesus into those Man City and Liverpool matches, we will not lose them. I'll make that guarantee right now. If we can get Partey and Jesus into those 2 key matchups, we will not drop. We will not lose to those teams. We may draw. I'll accept that, but we will not lose to those 2 teams. I think our team is that great and that deep. Aside, now you saw the bench yesterday. It finally came to the fruition that we all wanted it to be, and that is, you got guys like Smith Rowe, got guys like Jorginho, got guys like, what else? All these other, Jesus, all on the bench.
I would agree with you that for the first time in a number of weeks, I looked at that bench on Sunday and I'm thinking, listen, man, I'm quite happy with the depth there.
Yes.
So, but listen, we got to move on. There's a few callers waiting to get through. Thank you so much for your call. Big up all the Canadian Massive, and we hope you call back soon.
Yes, Elliot.
Canada Tie back here, CCC unit in the building. You know that, and we are rolling the Premier League. Still on top of the league. Let's go.
Well said. Well said. Take care. Right, we got another caller, I understand. Matt. Hey, Matt.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's you saying,
What's
bro?
happening, Matt?
Shout out from New York. We love you guys out here.
Okay. What part of New York you from?
Well, I'm actually from New Jersey, but I always say New York.
Yeah, that's I've been in Jersey several times. It's just across the water, as they say. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. I've got family in Newark, actually. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I've got family in New York, so
very close to where I am right now.
Yeah, man. So big up. So what you got to say? You saw the strap line. The question we asked, is Trossard the signing of the January transfer window so far? Is that something you agree with?
I would say yes. And it's kind of like we've talked about it several times. It's because he hit the ground running. It's what we needed for this season. Premier League tested, He can show what he did. He came into the lineup when we needed him most. Jesus got injured, and he performed. And a great part now is, as we have players come back, is the competition within the team.
That's right.
I've had a coach say competition breeds success, and it does. Because now all these guys, if you're not doing that standard, you could be worried about being replaced, and it really brings the level up. As we see that Man City already have that.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. And you look at it now, Jesus hasn't even played in the team with Trossard yet. So when these guys all start building up an understanding, at the start of the season, we only really had maybe Marquinhos in those wide areas for rotation. Now you're looking like Arteta's going to have selection headaches for some of these big games, whether Trossard plays and even Smith Rowe. We're not even really talking about him. Smith Rowe, Southgate said he could have gone to the World Cup if he was fit. He rates him that highly. If we can get him fit, Jesus fit, and listen, we've got an exciting front line now, haven't we, till the end of the season?
Definitely.
Yeah. So if we have a question for you, if we have all of those guys fit, who are you going to go with? Eddie, you got to include Eddie in that as well. Eddie, Trossard, and Jesus. What would be your preferred lineup?
Well, Jesus has to kind of work himself back into fitness.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
If you asked me in the beginning of the season, I would say, easily you put Jesus back in, but he has to kind of fight for a spot again against.
Yeah, it becomes a form thing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Which is exactly what the manager will want, because he'll be able to go to those places.
He looked good, I think, on Saturday. But I would have to say right now it would be Trossard, Martinelli, and Saka up front.
Yeah. Curtis, what's your thoughts?
I agree. I think now you've got they haven't done anything to give that shirt up. Martinelli scored, Trossard 3 assists. Saka's been.
Well, Martinelli's on a very impressive run of goal scoring form
since coming back in.
And that brings up another point for me, actually. I would like to ask you guys.
Go on.
Martinelli, he had a few games right there where he wasn't looking at his best.
Yep, I remember that.
Arteta actually took him off. And when he came back, I don't think Martinelli's been the same. He's been on fire.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if that is something we should maybe do with Saka in these upcoming games. I was wondering if, say, like you don't play him on Thursday, he sits on the bench. Come Saturday, he might have that fire from just sitting on the bench and just attack Crystal Palace.
You know what? Because you make a good point. Because Martinelli, when Trossard came in, Martinelli was having a little
dip
patch where he wasn't playing as well. And I think that competition has pushed him to perform better. So, with Saka, the only problem is who comes in on the right, who can, unless you move Trossard over there, I don't know. But I do think we need to treat Saka in a way that if he's not playing well, he can be dropped, he can be taken off, because at that age, you shouldn't feel like I can't get dropped, even if I'm not playing well. Because I don't think he played great yesterday, Saka. Yeah. He wasn't bad, but...
I think the one thing I would say about Saka is that he has what I call mercurial talent. So he's that guy, or one of those people that he may not always be performing to his optimum level, but he's the kind of guy that can change a game in an instant. And I think sometimes that is why the manager appears a little bit reluctant to take him off. And I can understand it, because there have been games where he's been less than impressive, and then all of a sudden he comes up with a magical moment, and then bang, goal or assist. So, but listen, thanks very much for your call, bro. Really appreciate it. Shout out to all the Jersey Massive, and hope you call back soon. Respect.
Absolutely.
All the best,
guys.
Okay, we got Alvin on the line.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Alvin. Where are you calling from?
Calling from Ireland, County Cork.
Oh wow, yeah, nice one. Yeah.
Big fan of AFTV. Thank you so much for the job that you guys are doing. Awesome. Big up to you guys.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. To the question of the day, I must say I was very happy when we got Trossard and Jorginho signing. I was really, really happy.
Was you as happy as Curtis was?
I was. Guys, I was more than glad, because at this particular time of the season, you need to bring in experience. It's not about prospect; it's about somebody that can come in and get the job done, that can give you 80% experience. And that's what we got. That shows Edu, Arteta, they really know what they are doing. They really, really know what they are doing. You know, I have always believed in him. I've had my patience. I always made my predictions before the game start of the season. I always say, looking at what Arteta is doing, this season might be very, very good because the players understand what he's trying to do now. You know, they get the message. So no matter how difficult it is, they believe even though we win, we lose, the players are together, which is very, very important. And this season, I'm telling you, if it all goes down to the last 3-4 games of the season. City, for us, the reason why I'm more confident this season is that City is not as best as before. It's more or less like a transition season for them, you know, and this is an opportunity for us. I don't see them winning 10 games in a row. This is not that City that can do it, like, you know, and the season is far gone, you know. I think we just have to stick together, keep believing in the team, keep believing in the coach. We'll get there.
No, you're absolutely right. And what I would say is, well, you alluded to it there when you said about City won't win all 10 games or 11 games. I think that both us and City will drop points along the way. But the fact that we've got a 5-point cushion and the fact that we're playing so well, I absolutely back Arsenal to maintain their lead. Even if it's only a few points, I firmly believe that come the end of the season, that last game on the 28th of May, I think that will be in the ascendancy and win the title. Curtis, what do you think?
Yeah, I think you made some good points there because you look at Man City, this is the first year Pep's played with a tall striker, you know, and he's let big players go like Sterling, Jesus, Zinchenko. I actually think City will probably regret some of them decisions. Letting 3 players of that level leave in one window. Like we said before, I don't think he expected Arsenal to be in the title race, so thought I can do Arteta a favour. But yeah, I think that consistency and that hunger is the thing that I think could get us over the finish line now, because, you know, Pep's been questioning the hunger of his team, where I think our team learnt a harsh lesson last season, missing out on top 4. I think that's given them that like sort of burning desire to prove everyone right this season. So yeah, I think you made some good points there.
Yes, bro.
That's so true. And on the other thing, looking at Spurs this season, oh my God, absolutely lovely.
I don't think anybody looks at Spurs, do they?
Who's that?
you know, looking back to that game we played last season, that Spurs game, you know, at the stadium that turned everything around, and you know, those pain, you know, looking back at those painful years, you know, this season it's just, we deserve this season because we have actually gone through tough time, you know. We deserve to have a good season. We deserve to go to games knowing that we could win. You know, the best that can happen is a draw. Looking at the Bournemouth game, oh my God, it was just something else. You know, that last goal from Reece Nelson. And look, talking about Gabriel Jesus, I was very glad he came in yesterday. I was so happy. But Gabriel Jesus could actually play from different spots. He could play on the left. He could play on the right. If Saka is not firing, if he's actually fit, and Saka is not firing, he could slop into the right hand side. You could have Trossard. You know, it's a very interesting attacking that we have this season. Very interesting. I kind of feel for Smith Rowe because when everybody's fit, some players will actually find it difficult to get in. Absolutely. And for Kiritini, he just have to be patient. We are going to make Champions League next season. There are going to be games, and he's going to be very important. You know, I'm very happy for this season, you know, because it's a complete team now. Looking at it, you could say we have a complete team, absolutely complete team. You know, 2 more seasons with these players, we could be talking about Champions League next season. Absolutely, absolutely.
I like that. Okay, listen, bro. Thank you.
Arteta. You know, thank you so much, guys. Thanks for the opportunity.
Big up, our first call from
TV.
Our first call from Cork. Well done, bro. Respect.
Well spoken.
Okay, moving on then. Got a couple of super chats I want to read out. One from Code Demystified. He said he was talking about the echo. We've sorted that, but thanks very much for bringing it to us attention. Same with E. Ross. He also mentioned that. Big up, he says. Respect there. Is it SK? He said Trossard stabilises Arsenal while waiting for Jesus. Very accurate. Another super chat here from Black Gemini says, Curtis, I'm with you on the PTSD. It lives on. Yeah, man. And in the comments, people big up Curtis, CC Unit, Curtis the Believer. Yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good in the house. Our final caller, Elise from Birmingham. Hey.
Hi. Hello.
How you doing?
Hey, what's happening?
I'm good, thank you. How are you guys?
Yeah, lovely.
Thank you for having me on, by the way. Big fan.
Oh, great. Thank you very much. What would you like to say? What do you think, first of all, of our strapline there? Trossard. Is he the signing?
What? I can't even lie. When I first heard that we were signing him, I wasn't sure at all, man. I was like, what is this? Is this sort of are we clutching at straws? I wasn't sure he was going to fit into the team, but you know what? I can't even lie. Like, he's just slotted in like he's been playing with us for years. It's insane. Like, he's so creative, and he just fits. Like, he plays so well with the rest of the boys. It's just he's been an amazing addition. Like, more than I could have even thought, to be fair.
Yeah, he's hit the ground running, man.
I was like, nah, we're literally just clutching at straws now. Go for Trossard. You know what? I had to eat my words, man, because boy, he's been performing. Definitely one of the big performers.
I think what it was as well, Elise, is because we were being sold the dream from Mudryk, and we saw all the highlight reels. Everyone was going crazy. I remember chatting to a few of the guys in the office, and they were like showing me bits and pieces on their phone of some of the goals he'd scored and some of the electrifying runs. And you're thinking, wow, if he comes to Arsenal, he's going to blow up the spot. We don't. I
saw he hasn't even played for Chelsea either.
Yeah, he's played he's done all right for Chelsea.
I don't think he's started, man.
No, he's not started.
No, he hasn't started. Yeah. This is what I'm saying. And then look at Trossard out here, a hat-trick of assists, like first half from that. First player ever in the Premier League to do that.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I think Cesc did it, didn't he? Fabregas.
Crazy,
he looks like he's played for us for years, don't he, Trossard? Like, he don't look like we signed him 6 weeks ago.
Amazing.
Mad. Doesn't even feel like 6 weeks.
No.
It feels like just a seasoned player. But yeah, man, I'm definitely I'm optimistic. To be fair, when we come into the league, like I literally said, like I want to put a bet on Arsenal winning the league this season because I just had it like
really
from that season. Yeah, for real. Like I remember watching the All or Nothing documentary, and I remember watching it thinking like, nah, there's something here. Like we've got a team. It's coming. Like the players and like the energy in the room, and then Arteta is just like, I just think he's a phenomenal manager. Like from what he's come to and what he's built so far, I just think like this is just the beginning. So
I must admit, I've got to eat a little bit of humble pie here because I didn't see this coming, to be honest with you.
My pie's in the oven. I can't lie. Mine ain't cooked. I got a big pie in the oven.
I had my reservations because, like I said, there was a couple of things I weren't quite happy with, and then the way we imploded towards the end of last season, I was thinking, don't get me wrong, I wasn't like sack him or anything like that, but I was saying this season you got to show me, you know what I mean?
You got to show me,
And to be fair to him, he has resounding.
He has, man. He stepped up, and the decisions he makes, like substitutions, and like when he's starting certain players, and we're thinking, why is he starting him, or why is he playing him there? And then it just all plays out like to our advantage. So I can't even, honestly, I've always believed in him, but I think he's a passionate guy, and I think it makes a difference. Like when your heart's in it like that, and it's not about like, you know, being the best in that sense. It's just like, I want to just win. I want it for the team. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you can see that it just radiates from him, and then that radiates through the team as well. So
I think you're right.
I think he cares, don't he? When he left as a player, he was crying. I remember the day he left, he was crying on the pitch. Right. So he obviously loves the club, and I think
loves the club. Yeah. That's what we wanted. We just wanted someone who loves the club the way we love it. And he's just going to put everything into it, and I can't lie, man. He does, man. Every week.
Can I just ask Elisa, what part of Birmingham are you from?
Selyoak.
Oh, so okay, because I've got a good school friend of mine, Paul. You think he lives in Nechells, although he might have moved out. Yeah,
Nechells like the other side to me. Yeah. But everyone always says to me, "Why are you an Arsenal fan? You're from Birmingham."
There's quite a few though. There's quite a few.
You know what? Half my family have been there, half of them are Arsenal, and I ended up on the Arsenal side. And I've always been the gunner. So like, my team, I love them. Absolutely love them, man.
Come on, man.
But listen, Elise, thank you very much for your call. Really appreciate your call.
Thank you for having me.
You must call back. You must call back.
Definitely, 100%.
Yeah.
Thanks for the call, man.
Definitely, guys. No worries. Take care.
Thank you.
Take care.
Well, Elise is definitely convinced.
We're done with the calls. Big up to everyone who called in. Some good calls there.
Had some very good calls.
Everyone's positive, man. It's good vibes, man. You know what I mean? Top of the league.
First call from Ireland today as well. The Icon that I've participated in from County Court.
We do ups
Keep
for the
them
week.
coming. Yeah, let's move on then. We ain't got long left. We're kind of into that final lap of the show. Ops of the week. I touched on it briefly. There's 2 big games this week. The first against Sporting. We played them last week on the first leg. Got a Desmond over there. I was encouraged by that. We're taking them back now to the Emirates this Thursday. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's an important game. You know, I know,
Very
I know
important.
all eyes are on the Premier League, but I'm still very kind of focused on winning a European trophy. Because let's be honest, when we go into that Champions League, that's a lot more difficult to win than this competition. I saw on the betting apps that we're the second favourites to win it. You could argue we could be favourites to win it. I think they had us, Man United and Juventus were the 3 favourites.
I'm envisioning a Arsenal Man United final.
Can you imagine?
That's a dream
that?
final.
That would be unbelievable.
Oh man,
that'd be hard to watch. You know what I mean? But nah, listen. I think what we have to take from that is that Sporting are a good team.
Yeah, we can't. I mean, I know we're talking, finals and talking
yeah.
about Man United. Let's not look past this game. So
No.
I don't want to appear to be complacent because I do think that Sporting are a decent side.
No, they are.
And they've got some good players. In that first game, man, they caused us a lot of problems. Had the boy Marcus Edwards there. He was possibly
sharp,
man of the match.
He is sharp. He's quick, man.
Yeah, and he's obviously got a point to prove.
Ex-Tottenham.
He looks good.
I saw that 2 of their players are suspended, Coates and the boy in
Coates
midfield.
is,
They both got yellow
that's right,
cards.
yeah.
The thing is, I mean, how do we go stronger than last week? with the
I think we
starting
go
lineup?
as strong as we have to go.
I think we have to get the job done.
Yeah,
don't we?
most
And
definitely.
then maybe you can take people off if you've got a couple of goals ahead. So.
It's interesting. It throws up an interesting phenomenon because last week there were a number of people that were saying, "Look, we got the game against Fulham. Can you, rest some players?" And, which I didn't agree with. Well, rest a few, but not wholesale changes. But this week the game is there to be won, and you've got Palace on Sunday.
I think in reality, because we didn't win last Thursday, if we'd have won, we could have rotated a bit.
Yeah.
Because it's 2-2, this is a shootout. It's 90
so
minutes.
do you put the strongest team in the first game?
Well, this was the discussion, wasn't it? Should we have gone strong? He made 6 changes, and I think we suffered a little bit.
No, I should have phrased that differently. What I'm saying is, with the tie so finely balanced at 2-2, is Mikel Arteta, does he go super strong and risk it?
Listen, I think he's got to go stronger than last Thursday.
Yeah, I think he has too.
Honest.
I agree.
I'm not sure it has to be the whole 11, but I think you've got to impose it, because listen, you have a bad 90 minutes, you're out of the competition.
Exactly, and you don't want that.
You don't want that, because winning breeds confidence, and
especially, not being funny, you're kind of in touching distance of. And listen, again, I'm trying not to be presumptuous, but a 2-2 away is not bad.
Yeah,
and it kind of makes us favourites, doesn't it, for this game? So why not go strong and then try and win the game, and then you can make changes in the second half, hopefully, if things are going your way.
I would play a stronger team than last week and try and get the job done. And then
I agree,
if you
Curtis.
win in, you can take a couple off. And because, listen, last Thursday we were travelling. We were in Portugal. Then we flew back. We was away at Fulham. So you felt like, okay, some of the players might need a rest. This is at home, and we're at home on Sunday.
Yeah.
So I think we should be playing a strong team.
Yeah, I
The draw's
100% agree.
The draw's on Friday. It's a quarter-final. You want to be in that, man.
In fact, I'll be disappointed if we don't. I'm going to be honest. Let's try and win this thing.
Yeah, man. I want us to win it.
Yeah, well, let's try and win it. And like I said, Sporting, it won't be a walk in the park. I mean, we had a 3-0 win on Sunday. I'm reliably informed that they had a 3-0 win at the weekend as well. So they're coming into this game in good heart.
Great goal as well. The little Rabona.
Yeah. No, they're going forward, man. I was quite impressed with them.
They were dangerous.
They were.
Us, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I dare I say it though, you look better than Fulham did.
Yeah, no,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I remember Robbie said, "Oh man, Fulham, this, that, yes." Listen, we need a result. So I'm hoping that he goes strong. Yeah. Okay, that's that one then. Of course, I've got to ask you a prediction before
I want to go 3-1.
3-1?
3-1, yeah. I think because I think you'll play a stronger team, and they got their centre back and centre mid missing. I think we'll have a bit too much for it.
I think it might be a bit closer than that.
I think 2-1.
1-0 or 2-1. I think this would be a goal in it. I was quite impressed by Sporting. I mean, don't get me wrong. They're not Real Madrid, but they're a good team, and they've got some good, young, lively players. And they're going to come to the Emirates, and they're going to give it a go. I can see that.
Of course, yeah.
I don't think they're going to come here and shut up shop. I think that they will try and hit us on the break. I think we will have most of the ball, but I think that they will set up and they'll try and hit us on the break. They've got a couple of lively players up front. I mentioned Edwards. There's a couple of other guys. Paulinho looks a good player. He scored again at the weekend. So, it's not going to be a walk in the park, but I do expect Arsenal to come through. Right, okay, hopefully we get through that one, and then it's moving on to Sunday. Premier League, London derby, Arsenal at home to Crystal Palace, the Patrick Vieira derby.
Could be his last game in charge if it goes wrong for him.
Well, I hope we get the win, but I hope Palace retain his services. That's the way I see it. But Palace, man, you mentioned them, currently 12th in the table, which doesn't sound too bad, 12 out of 20 teams. However, they've not been on a good run of form at all. No wins in 2023. Lost at the weekend, as we saw, against City, when really they were
should have got a draw,
getting a draw, which would have been a very creditable result, but it didn't work out that way. Manager Patrick Vieira under a lot of pressure, so they're going to need a result. What do you reckon, Curtis?
It's interesting because no win in 2023. In years gone by, that would make me nervous because I'd think, Arsenal are going to give them the gift, but I actually think we're going to be too strong for them. What I will say is I think there will be a reaction from them. You know, Zaha always tries to play well against us, Vieira, player. So they'll come here and try and hit us on the
Sambi won't be playing.
No, Sambi's obviously not allowed to play, being on loan, but listen, I expect us to win this game. I think we're in the ascendancy. City don't play in the league. It's a home game. 60,000. Jesus will be back. Get minutes probably off the bench. Smith Rowe. I just think we're going to have too much for them. I watched them against City. I thought they were really poor in that game. Even the team selection, like he had Eze on the bench. I just didn't understand the team. They'll have a go, but
I must say that did surprise me. If you're struggling for goals,
and
you got Eze in the bench. That kind of didn't make sense to me.
He played Zaha up front. He's better on the left. So, Vieira's having a tough time. I think we'll have too much for him. I think, especially if we beat Lisbon and we've got that confidence going into that game and knowing we can go 8 points clear of City. So, I just think we'll be too good for them.
I agree. I can see us winning by a couple of goals this game. Palace are struggling at the moment. Yes, they did. They hung in there, didn't they?
Yeah.
On Saturday, but they never really looked like winning a game. It was more of a case if they could get a point, which, to be fair to them, they came reasonably close. But once Elise gave away that penalty, that was that. Once they went a goal down, you never really saw them coming back. And I could see a similar scenario at Arsenal. I can see a scenario whereby they're going to set up and try and make it difficult for us, hit us on the counter. But I don't see them scoring. And I think once we do get the first goal, I think their heads might drop a bit. And I think that we'll win by a couple of goals.
I'd go along with that 2-0.
So I hope I'm right. But it's a funny old game, man. And the Premier League, man, it can throw up, all manner of results. But that's the way it's looking to me so far. We'll see how it goes. We've got a super chat here before I wrap up finally from O'Malley. He says, sick of the narrative of we are doing good because City are up to their standards. 62 points is what they typically average. If we win the Premier League, it will be the youngest side ever. We are watching history. Good point. I can't disagree with anything he says there, to be honest.
That's it. That narrative that City are off it is overplayed. And I've seen people saying, the Premier League's weak. It's, that's a hard league to win.
It is.
To finish above Man City is very difficult.
And listen, man, City are all hands to the pump going for it. You saw them saw the way they celebrated that goal. They want this badly.
They do,
You know what I mean? And so if we can come out on top, which I expect us to do, it will be a monumental achievement. Something that, we will look back in history and say, this was a fantastic achievement. So, right, okay then. I'm predicting a win by a couple of goals. So are you. Is there anything you want to say in closing?
No, listen, just obviously big week. Let's hope we can win, and international break coming up, which is not really what we want, but obviously just use the time to get.
Although
the
if you
players
could
fit.
go into the international break, 8 points.
Yeah, it's a nice little break, and
Yeah,
then
it
it's
is.
that final run of games. So yeah, man, looking forward to this week's games anyway.
Yeah, my optimism remains peak. So yeah. Listen, guys, thank you very much. Thank you, everybody who called in today. Thanks to everybody who submitted comments, all the people who submitted super chats. We thank you very much. Keep the show interactive. We're loving your support. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you next week. We're out.
Don't forget to check out the Bias Premier League show with myself, Robbie, and Ty, and
Peace.
where's Yardi?
Oh, he's not a great loss, man. He's a waste of space.
Is that how you carrying on?
Oh, he can't see me. Yeah.
Well, Yardi will be here, so make sure you check it out. And I want you to tell him that to his face.
Tell him what? I didn't say no. Yardi's my best friend.